Here's a little bit of homework help for Unit 4, Lesson 4 practice. Question number 1, May and Tyler were working on the exact same equation, 2/5 times b, or 2/5 of b, plus 1 is equal to negative 11. They're working on it together. May says the solution is b is equal to negative 25, and Tyler's solution is negative 28. And here's their work. Complete the statement about whether you agree with their solutions. I agree with either May or Tyler because one person's work is correct. Let's take a look at how they go through this. What we'll need to do is see who did the work right. For the first one, May, it looks like the 1 is gone, so she subtracted 1 from here and subtracted 1 from here. And what we'll be looking at, this one I've noticed, negative 11 minus 1, has been kind of confusing, so we might think about this as the exact same thing as a negative 11 plus negative 1. And I know that negative 11 plus negative 1 is actually negative 12. So, sorry, May, got a little mistake right there. Let's look at this one right here. Tyler went from 2/5 times b plus 1 is equal to a negative 11. Looks like here he went from 2/5 times b is now 2b. And how did he get there? So how did he get from 2/5 of b to 2b? Well, if we multiply this by 5 over 1, that gives us 10/5, which is equal to 2b. So what it looks like is he went ahead and multiplied by 5 right here, which is good. And he multiplied by 5 right here, which is good. But what happens if he didn't multiply the 1 by 5? See, since these are not grouped together, you have to think about every little term in here. And if he's going to multiply that first term by 5, then he has to multiply every single term by 5. So guess what, Tyler? Neither one of them are correct. So you have to be prepared for some of those pieces where both of them made mistakes. And you have to be able to answer both of those ones, or answer in that way where we can recognize that neither of them, both of them, because they're both not correct. Next question. The rest of these should go pretty quickly. The loading time will probably take longer in doing the work. And this one is just simply to solve the equation. With this, I do want to see your steps. So you need to show your steps. Actually, in this case, you won't be able to, because if you do, it'll show it wrong. So make sure that you get the right answer. You're going to go through what I'm going to tell you. The very first thing is if you're going to have 3 times x minus 4 is equal to 12 times x, you have a lot of options. You can use distributive property first. You get 3 times x minus 12 is equal to 12 times x. You could take 3 times the difference of x and 4 is equal to 12x, and you could divide by 3 to eliminate that from there, but don't forget to, whoops, there's an x here, to divide by 3 here. Those are just a couple of options, and I think that should be enough to get you started. Make sure you get the right answer, but don't forget that you can check your answer to see if you're right before you actually submit it. Okay? Next question. You have an opportunity now to say what is the first step for each of these. It says match what is being done in each step while solving the equation. So we're going step by step by step by step. What is actually happening? So here's our first equation, or our equation right here. 2 times the sum of a negative 3 times x plus 4 is equal to 5 times x plus 2. I look right here at the next one and I see, oh, hey, that's the exact same as the beginning. So that makes this the original equation. What we're doing is we're providing evidence for the steps that we make. The next step, I see that the parentheses are now gone. I see that I have 2 times a negative 3x is a minus 6x, and a 2 times 4 is a positive 5. So this one is what we call distributive property. The very next step, I now see that minus 6x is gone. It's no longer here in this expression on the left. So how did we get rid of it? The opposite of a minus 6x is a plus 6x. So in that side, we would add 6x to each side. Our next step, we see that the 2 is gone. So how did we eliminate the 2? And then the final step is, how did I get rid of that 11 to get just an x? I'm going to leave that to you for those last two steps. Question 4, 2 parts. We see in this one that there's an equation that Andre is solving, but when he checked it, he got it wrong. He knows a mistake, but he knows he made a mistake because his solution when he plugged in that 5 right there in for his x's here, it didn't check out correctly. So where is his mistake? Well, as we look through this, let's look and see. First thing, we see that we go from parentheses to no parentheses. So let's decide, did he distribute correctly? -2 times +3 is a -6. -2 times a -5 is a +10. Cool. That was good. The next side, 4 times x plus 3 plus 8. It looks like he didn't do anything there yet, didn't change anything. But on the very next line, the third line now, this is good. But here on the third line, he went from 4 times x plus 3 plus 8 to 4 times x plus 20. Let's break that down just a little bit and see what he did. So 4 times x plus 4 times 3 plus 8. That makes that 4 times x plus 12 plus 8. And that right there definitely is 20. So good. So he's good to right here. So check off there, check off that line there. The very next step, he got rid of his 6 times x. So how did he do that? I would go like this, adding 6x to make that 0. And right here, I would add 6x to make that, 4x plus 6x is 10x, not 2x. So I think what happened here, this is what I think he did wrong. The way that he got the -2x is, I think that he subtracted 6x instead of adding the 6x. So Andre's mistake occurred in the translation, or in the transition from the, let's see here, which step? From the first, second, third, or fourth line. So here's line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4. So from 3 to 4. In the third line to the fourth line, he subtracted 6x on the left side, or he added 6x on the left side, but then he subtracted 6x on the right side. Poor guy, Andre, but at least we helped him find a mistake. Now it's your job to get the right solution. So you need to go from here. And the best thing that I can tell you to do right here, Andre already did a whole bunch of work for us. So don't go back and reinvent this. Just start right here by correcting his mistake. And instead of subtracting 6x, let's add the 6x. And let's go right here and change this to 10x. So what you're doing is you're only going to solve from this step. 10 is equal to 10 times x plus 20. Solve from right there. You don't need to do all this other work up above here. Okay, because we know that he's already correct in the first 3 lines. It's that fourth line where we make the correction. Then go back, substitute what you think the value of x is, make sure that it comes out true, and then put it in for your answer to the equation. There we go. Question 5, fairly simple one. It says, choose the equation that has the solutions 5, 7, and 8, 13. What I need to do with this one is I just need to use more substitution. Keep in mind that these are both ordered pairs, and so you have the ordered pair x and y. So we're going to substitute into those equations. We have 3 times 5 minus 7 equals 8. Let's see here. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 minus 7 does equal 8. Check. Let's see if the other one works out. 3 times 8 minus 13 equals 8. That's 24 minus 13. This one over here was 15 minus 7 equals 8. That's a true statement. 24 minus 13, let's see here, 24 minus 10 is 14, and 14 minus 3 is 11, not 8. Nope. A, not true. You'll do the same thing for each of these. Substitute the value of x and y. Make sure that they make the equations true with both ordered pairs. And it says it has the solutions. That means these two ordered pairs have to fit there. Option B for solving this one, find the slope, find the y-intercept. That's another option, okay? Think about that to make sure that you can do it that way. Pay close attention for little switches like y first and then x, or y minus x. Be very, very careful. Both of these are going there. This is a multiple choice question, so only one answer is correct. Last one. And this last one is two parts. We first have a graph, and then we need to interpret it for the work we're going to do. Length of ribbon is cut into two pieces to use as a craft project. The graph shows the length of the second piece x for each length of the first piece y. A couple things I want to do first. Analyze the graph. Notice what's going on. We see that the x-axis is the length of the second piece. The y-axis is the length of the first piece. I see that the first piece starts out at 15 feet long, and then the length of the second piece could also be 15 feet long at its very longest. So how does that work out? Complete the statement. When the second piece is 0 feet long, okay, the second piece is 0 feet long. Remember, second is x. So when the second piece is 0 feet long, where do we see the 0? That's right here. Okay, how long is the first piece? Well, then I come up to here. This is piece number 1. Okay, so when that makes this right here, any other piece after this, right, could work our way off of here. 0, 15 is that ordered pair. But here's what I want to know about the slope. The cool thing about this is I know this is 15, 0. So when I find the slope of this line, I'm looking at a slope that goes from 0, 15 to 15, 0. And the coolest thing about that is I can just go 15 minus 0 divided by 0 minus 15 equals 15 divided by negative 15. Simplify that to negative 1. And that tells me what I need to know about the slope. But now I have to be able to interpret that slope. If the slope is negative 1, what does that show me? Pay close attention to that or on your own for it. Hang in there. Don't give up. Let me know if you have questions. Have a great day.